Today's date is February the 21st, 1994. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Eugene Zachary. I'm Blake Hailey, and we're making these videos in the University of North Texas Health Science Center at Fort Worth in the Biomed Communication Center located in the Gibson D. Lewis Health Science Library. And Dr. Zachary is the Associate Professor of Family Medicine here at the Health Science Center. So now, after stating the long introduction and hopefully the date and all, Dr. Zachary, thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to meet with us for a few minutes today and discuss your history.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
I'd like, if we could, to start way back with your prior experiences long before you ever came to what was then TCOM. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Okay. I'm a native Texan who attended the Kansas City College of Osteopathic Medicine from 1955 to 1959, and I graduated with my DO degree. I spent a year on an internship, rotating internship, before starting into general practice in Richardson, Texas. I was in private practice in Richardson for 20 years prior to coming to the college for full-time faculty.
So only about 1960 to or thereabouts?
I came to the college in 1980, so I was in practice for 20 years.
You had, well, up even today, you've had a lot of organizations you've been a part of, TOMA and the AOA and so on. Why don't you go into some of the positions you've held with TOMA and so forth? Okay.
Back in 1974, I was elected Vice Speaker of the House of Delegates of TOMA and served in that position for 2 years, and in 1976 was elected Speaker of the House of Delegates of TOMA and served in that position for 17 years.
Oh my.
Up until 1993, last year, I was then elected to the position of President-Elect of TOMA. Hopefully this coming June I will be installed as President of TOMA and will carry forward with those duties. In 1981 I was elected Speaker of the Congress of Delegates of the then American College of Osteopathic General Practitioners, which since has become the American College of Osteopathic Family Practitioners, and have served in that position ever since. In 1982, I was elected to the position of Speaker of the House of Delegates of the American Osteopathic Association. I have served in that position ever since. During that period of time, I was the only osteopathic physician that held those 3 elected positions in the history of the osteopathic profession. I'm quite proud of that.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Where do you see in the other organizations, since you've become president of TOMA, or president-elect, where do you see yourself going in the other 2 organizations in the next few years?
I would anticipate the opportunity to serve further in the American Osteopathic Association, possibly as a member of the Board of Trustees, and if things go well, maybe at some point in time moving up through the chairs, and including the office of President of the AOA.
Oh, that'd be an excellent accomplishment. I think you have quite a few irons in the fire, as they say.
Well, yes, I do.
You came to the college in '80, of course, serving in those particular roles at that time as well. You've had an impressive career at the Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine. Could you go into some of that for us?
Yes, I have been very fortunate during the 14 years I've been with the college. From 1980 until 1984, I served as a director of one of the general and family practice clinics located over on East Berry and Riverside Drive, called the Riverside Clinic.
Right.
Then in December of 1984, I was selected to become the Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of this institution, and served in that position until 1st of July 1990.
Oh my, 6
So
years.
since 1990, I have resumed my role as a faculty member in the Department of General Family Practice, which has become the Department of Family Medicine. And my primary role in that department at this point in time is director of the preceptor program for our department, as well as working in our 5 family practice clinics wherever I might be needed.
Director of the, you say preceptor program?
Preceptor
Could
program.
you go into a little of
Yes.
what that is for me?
Yes,
I
I
really
can.
am unsure.
The preceptor program in our department involves several different things. Number one, there are, in the sophomore year, there are 2 preceptor programs or 2 preceptorships that are required of our year 2 students to complete before they can advance to the 3rd year. Those preceptor programs are 32 hours each, and this program has to be served out in the community with a community physician who is in family practice. Then as they enter their junior and senior years, then there's another preceptorship that they must complete called the Junior Partnership, which is a 4-week program. Again, has to be completed out in the community physician's office somewhere in the state of Texas, or in some cases outside the state of Texas. So I'm the director of that program. We have approximately 150 active preceptors on our approved list, and I have to coordinate through my office the program with the students and with the various preceptors, and at the same time try to keep those preceptors happy and keep the students happy, and it's quite a few balls to juggle in the air at the same time.
I'm surprised, and I caught you at a moment you had time then for something of this type.
Well, I always try to make time for something as important as this.
You also direct, you say, the 5 clinics now. So I assume that also
No, I don't direct the 5
okay.
clinics. No, I just work in them as they need my help.
Oh, okay. Could you go into some of your experiences, perhaps some interesting events or so forth that you'd like to go into while you've been here in the role as dean and so forth, and prior to that?
The 5.5 years I served as Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean certainly gave me an opportunity to learn a great deal about how this institution works, also how the state of Texas operates, and then I think most of all, I had the opportunity to learn about the other 7 medical schools in the state of Texas, how they operate and what they look like and how that compares to this institution. I was fortunate enough to meet some very fine people at other institutions and state agencies in the state in that period of time, and work with them, and learned a great deal. It was a very enjoyable experience.
You brought up an interesting point, how this institution relates to the other, I believe you said 7 medical or health science centers in the state. How do you view this institution? Do you see it being markedly different from the others? What does it have to offer that the others don't have?
Yes, there are some significant differences. The main difference is we are an osteopathic institution, and the other 7 medical schools are allopathic, in that they train students who will become MDs. Our students, of course, become DOs or osteopathic physicians. That is the most significant difference between our institution and those others. However, in relation to the other 7 medical schools, we are a young institution, particularly in relation to the University of Texas health science centers here in the state. Most of those institutions are much older than we are, and they are larger than we are, and with the exception of Texas A&M Health Science Center, I believe they all have probably approximately twice the number of students we have. However, I think Texas Tech is about the same size as we are. The UT Health Science Centers have probably twice to 3 times the number of faculty we have, and of course, when it comes to funding, they get a tremendous amount of money, larger than what we receive from the state of Texas. So those are the major differences between this institution and those.
Did you see at that time a need for us to become a health science center at that point? Is that the right time?
The idea of this institution becoming a health science center was formulated during the period of time that I was in the dean's office. The president and others felt like that was a goal that we should try to achieve, primarily because it would enable this institution to better compete for funding, not only at the state level for institutional funds from the state of Texas, but also compete more satisfactorily in the arena of research funds, particularly from the federal government. Additionally, reaching the status of Health Science Center will also enable this institution to be more competitive in its recruiting efforts for faculty. Also reaching accreditation status with outside agencies such as the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools is another mechanism which will enhance our research funding opportunities as well as the recruiting of notable faculty. So I believe that the fact that we have reached the status of a health science center designated by the legislature in the state of Texas will enable us to do many great things in addition to those we've already accomplished over the last 23 or 24 years.
So you kind of played a relatively large role then at that point.
Not a large role, but a somewhat role, yes.
What other challenges have you faced in your time here at TCOM and maybe even in private practice in your organizations that you've been involved in? Trying to juggle all that, I know it's probably been challenging enough.
Well, it's always been a challenge to make improvements in whatever organization one belongs to, whether it be this institution as a place of employment or whether it be one of the organizations that I work for on a volunteer basis that I've previously mentioned. I think one of the biggest challenges I've had in my life is coming to this institution, leaving my private practice and becoming a part of an educational academic program, especially one that is so closely allied with the bureaucracy of the state of Texas. That was quite a jolt, quite a difference in the way things are done.
That does seem like a large challenge. Do you see yourself ever maybe going back into private practice?
No, I really don't. I like what I'm doing too much.
You like so you have gotten used to the bureaucracy, yes, and so on and so forth.
This is a very good institution and a very nice place to work, and I enjoy it very much.
What else do you see yourself doing here at the Health Science Center? What other things would you like to see done, or would you personally like to be involved in?
Well, of course, I'm happy to participate in whatever endeavor the institution feels I could contribute. My biggest challenge, I think, the remaining time that I am employed here at this institution will be to constantly be on the lookout for ways to improve my preceptorship program, as well as to constantly try to help my department and fellow faculty members make it a better academic program for the students that we teach, not only in the classroom but in our clinical settings.
So you definitely would like to keep doing what you're doing and just keep improving then?
That's correct.
In the organizations, do you have any plans as far as what you'd like to see as you're becoming the upcoming, or the president soon to be? What would you like to see done in your, shall we say, extracurricular activities?
Well, of course, I will reveal my plan at my inauguration.
You don't want to give us
which will take place in June in Houston at the annual TOMA convention. But just as maybe a quick, brief view of what's going to happen, I think, is osteopathic physicians in the state of Texas are faced with tremendous challenges at this time, not only in trying to keep up with the ever-changing field of medicine and the explosion of information and therapeutics and equipment that comes upon all of us on a daily basis, but we also have to cope with an expanding role that the federal government and third-party payers have opened up in the area of medical practice, and we have yet to see what's going to be the outcome of President Clinton's health care reform. We're going to have to deal with that, I think, within the next probably 18 months, which will encompass my year as president. And hopefully with the aid of and support of a lot of good board members that will be on my team and the central office of TOMA, we will be able to enable our physicians in the state of Texas to better cope with whatever comes down the road in the future.
So do you see TOMA and the Health Science Center in good positions right now to weather whatever changes come along with this health care plan?
Oh, I think so, yes. I think we have prepared for it well, and we are adequately prepared, not just emotionally, but number-wise and so forth, to cope with whatever comes out of the legislation that's going to come out of Congress.
You mentioned that the way that the standing is with the osteopathic field in Texas. Do you think the Health Science Center has helped that change people's perspective a lot as far as the view of the profession?
I think that at one point, maybe 10 years ago, maybe less, this institution was Fort Worth's best well-kept secret. We've heard that comment made many times. I've made it sometimes myself. I think that the administration of this institution over the last 8 or 10 years has done a very good job in letting the community of Fort Worth and Tarrant County know that the Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine is in existence, what it does and what it stands for, and what benefits it brings to those residents within the county. And I think they've done a good job at that.
Do you also, in your time as dean and even today, do you see the relationship with the main campus up in Denton? Has that been pretty good, or have there been some problems? Or?
Well, historically, during the time I was dean, yes, there were a few problems, but they were of a minor nature that we were able to iron out pretty satisfactorily. I think there is an important relationship between the two institutions that is significant. I think having a close relationship with a university is a tremendous asset for a medical school. Likewise, I think having a relationship with a medical school is a tremendous asset for a university. I think this is evident all over the country. They supplement and complement each other very well, and in a lot of different ways, and the most important probably being in the field of academics.
So you do see the relationship at this point strengthening and being a very good relationship then?
Yes, I do.
Where would you like to see any other changes come along for the campuses in the near future?
It'd be wonderful if we could find the funding to build some new buildings and add some additional programs to our curriculum, and even to encompass some of the things that the Health Science Center would like to do in regard to opening up new programs in addition to the College of Medicine.
What programs would you like to see added, say, in the next few years?
As you know, we're currently working diligently to institute a program in public health. I think that at some point we need to consider creating a program in nursing, possibly in allied health in regard to a PA program, maybe even an improvement or an increased emphasis on clinical pathology, such as lab techs and medical technicians and that sort of thing. I think there's a lot of opportunities for us down the road.
Forgive me, but PA stands for...
Professional assistant.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I was not familiar with that term
Sure.
in any of my
Sure.
prior research.
These are individuals that work in doctors' offices in the role of an assistant to the physician.
Oh, okay, I see what you're getting at.
Mhm.
Kind of a right-hand person,
Correct.
if you will.
Yeah.
We've covered a number of things here, Dr. Zachary. What other things would you like to bring up? We've covered, about the Health Science Center and some of the other experiences. I'm sure we're missing a lot. What other things would you, or are there some things you'd like to mention
Well,
and discuss?
I certainly would like to see this institution be able to create some endowments for scholarship programs. It's unfortunate that we don't have a lot of money being given to the foundation and to the institution for that purpose, because I think there are a lot of needy students out there, or potential students out there that could benefit from this type of a program. But being as young as we are, that of course has not had an opportunity to come to pass, but I'm hopeful that in the next 20 years or so that there will be a number of scholarship programs instituted, and maybe even some endowed chairs in the various departments of the school.
Well, hopefully you can make some of that possible then. I know you like. What other things would you like to see or mention?
Well, I just want it to continue to be the good institution, the fine institution that it has been up until this point. However, I think it is going to be constantly challenged to be better, and any improvements we can make in our program from the admissions program all the way through graduation is going to be a plus for us as well as the profession, not only in Texas but for the profession nationally in the United States.
Well, Dr. Zachary, I do appreciate the time that you have taken to meet with us this morning out of your busy schedule. And also, I'm very much aware that the Health Science Center is fortunate to have you as a faculty member here in all the various roles that you've served. And it obviously seems like what you're doing now is one of the most fulfilling for you. Sounds like, along with keeping up with all the organizations you're a part of. And do wish you luck as president coming up for TOMA.
Thank you very much. What I do is fun. If it weren't fun, I wouldn't do it. And so I enjoy the associational work as well as my role here as a faculty member.
That seems to be the sense I get from all the people I've interviewed, is that you really enjoy what you do. And it's not a job, it's more of a life love than a career or a job to you.
That's correct.
And again, thank you for taking your very valuable time to meet with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
And have a pleasant day.
Same to you.